They say the B-2 Spirit is just a bomber, but that's not true. It was born from the shadow, a silent silhouette in the sky that changed the way the world thinks about air power. For more than 3 decades, it has slipped through the most advanced defenses, striking targets no one else would dare touch, and then vanishing as if it never existed. The US Air Force once claimed this: 2 B-2s can do the work of 75 fighter jets. Sounds insane, right? And today, you're about to discover 10 terrifying secrets behind America's $2 billion ghost. Secret number 1, and the scariest of all. The B-2 Spirit can strike a target, and you still wouldn't know it was ever there. The B-2's stealth technology isn't some Hollywood trick. It's pure science, refined through thousands of hours in labs and wind tunnels. That strange triangular shape, it's not just for looking cool. Every curve, every edge, every millimeter is engineered to bend, scatter, and confuse radar waves, sending them off in directions radar simply can't detect. And that is only the outer layer. The B-2 is covered in a special material whose true composition is still classified today. All the world knows is that it's a carbon-based coating that absorbs radar energy. When radar hits it, the signal doesn't bounce back. It disappears, swallowed whole. The result? On a radar screen, the B-2 shows up as a tiny bird. A bird carrying 18 tons of strategic weapons. Secret number 2. And it's the kind of detail that gives anyone hearing it for the first time chills. Each B-2 Spirit costs $2.1 billion. You heard that right? $2.1 billion. To put that into perspective, that's enough money to buy 21 F-22 Raptors, or to build an entire airbase from scratch. Why is it so ridiculously expensive? Because there's nothing else on Earth like the B-2 Spirit. Every system, every wire, every section of the fuselage has to be designed, built, and hand-assembled with absolute precision. No assembly lines, no mass production. Each B-2 is more like a work of art, the art of war. And here's the even scarier part. The United States built only 21 of them. Originally, they planned for 132, but the Cold War ended and Congress slashed the budget. That means every single B-2 is irreplaceable. Losing one isn't just a loss of $2.1 billion. It's losing 1/21st of America's strategic nuclear deterrent. So whenever a B-2 takes off, it's surrounded by layers of security, from the ground, in the air, and even satellites orbiting overhead. Because a B-2 isn't just a plane. It's a strategic card in the hand of a superpower. The third fact will finally show you why the B-2 earned the nickname, the Ghost of Death. Its stealth doesn't just fool radar. It slips past almost every detection system humans have ever built. This is multi-spectrum invisibility, not just hiding, but disappearing. The B-2's engines are engineered to kill its infrared signature. The exhaust is cooled, mixed with cold air, and released so gently that its heat trail is a fraction of a normal aircraft's, which means heat-seeking missiles, the most common way to shoot down a plane, can barely even recognize the B-2, much less lock onto it. But this is the part that's truly chilling. The B-2 was designed to fly in almost absolute silence. Its engine noise is swallowed by an advanced acoustic dampening system. At 15,000 meters, the B-2 sounds like nothing more than wind brushing through leaves. And on the ground, you'd never know a steel Phantom carrying 18 tons of destruction was drifting right above you. That's why during airstrikes in Afghanistan, Iraq, and Libya, most targets didn't even realize they were under attack until the bombs were already falling. The fourth fact will completely change the way you think about global reach. The B-2 Spirit can take off from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, fly to any point on the planet, and come back home, all without ever touching the ground. And that's not bragging. That's a capability proven in multiple real-world missions. The B-2 has a range of 11,000 kilometers without refueling. But once aerial refueling comes into play, that range becomes essentially limitless. The aircraft can stay in the air for 44 hours straight, limited only by how long the crew can physically endure. Now imagine this. You wake up one morning in a country thousands of kilometers away, feeling perfectly safe because the United States is half a world from you. But as you're sipping your morning coffee, a B-2 has already taken off from Missouri, and it's coming your way. No need to deploy troops. No need to negotiate with allies for access to bases. All it takes is a single order from the President of the United States, and within 20 hours, 18 tons of bombs can be dropped on any target on Earth. That is true deterrence. The power to strike globally, instantly, without preparation. And in the Kosovo War in 1999, the B-2 demonstrated this in the most chilling way. B-2S took off from Missouri, flew 30 hours straight, delivered precision strikes on targets in Yugoslavia, and then flew all the way back home. During the entire flight, the crew rested only a few hours while the aircraft flew on autopilot. And the targets on the ground? They had no idea the attack came from a bomber launched from an entirely different continent. The fifth fact reveals why the B-2 isn't just a bomber, but a precision destruction system so terrifying it feels unreal. Inside its massive weapons bay, the B-2 can carry 16 GPS-guided B-83 nuclear bombs, each one packing up to 1.2 megatons of explosive power. For comparison, the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima was only 15 kilotons, which means a single B-2 can lift off carrying the destructive force of 80 Hiroshimas. But here's the part that makes it truly frightening. Not the power, but the accuracy. The B-2's guidance system blends GPS, inertial navigation, and terrain matching technology. The result? It can drop a bomb from 15,000 meters and miss by only 3 meters. Picture this. You're sitting inside a single room. A bomber flying at 3 times the height of Mount Everest can hit that exact room. No hiding, no running, no escape. And the B-2 gets even scarier. It doesn't have to dump all its bombs onto one target. It can strike 16 different targets, each one hundreds of kilometers apart, in a single mission. One aircraft with the ability to cripple an entire small nation's military infrastructure in just a few hours. Governments, military bases, airfields, power plants, seaports, all wiped out with one sortie. Truth number 6. The B-2 is a nightmare for every air defense system ever built. Throughout the history of warfare, nations believed they could create safe airspace. From World War II anti-aircraft guns to modern systems like Russia's S-400. But the B-2 erased that idea simply by existing. During the 2003 Iraq War, the B-2 didn't need to fly around defenses. It didn't need decoys. It didn't need escorts. It flew straight into the heart of one of the densest air defense networks on Earth at the time. On Iraqi radar screens? Nothing. The sky was completely silent. And then, minutes later, key strategic targets were gone. But here's the most unsettling part. The B-2 doesn't just strike, it opens the door. It can quietly disable radar sites, missile batteries, and command centers, all before anyone even realizes it was there. So when other aircraft arrive, they see only one thing. The air defense network has vanished, completely. This happened again in Libya in 2011. B-2S appeared without warning, shut down critical radar installations, and by the time NATO launched its first wave of air operations, Libya's skies were already cleared, without a single warning shot. Truth number 7 isn't about a weapon no radar can detect. It's about fear. The B-2 Spirit isn't just an aircraft. It's a psychological force. Sometimes just the news that a B-2 has taken off is enough to make governments rethink their decisions. In 2013, as tensions with North Korea escalated, the United States simply announced that B-2s would be deployed toward the peninsula. No bombs were dropped. No strikes were carried out. And yet, Pyongyang immediately toned down its rhetoric and paused its provocations. That is the power of deterrence. Because world leaders understand one simple reality. There is no air defense system on Earth that can fully protect against this platform. No one knows where a B-2 is. No one knows when it will arrive. And no one can be certain what's happening until it's already over. That kind of uncertainty keeps decision makers awake at night, because a single steel phantom passing silently through the night sky can undo years, sometimes decades, of carefully built plans. In many international crises, the US hasn't needed to act at all. Just quietly letting it be known that B-2s are on combat-ready status has been message enough. We have options, and there is very little you can do to stop them. That is diplomacy through fear, and it has proven brutally effective. Truth number 8. The B-2 isn't just a bomber. It's a fully integrated combat system, plugged directly into America's global intelligence network. When a B-2 takes off, it doesn't fly blind. It's guided by real-time data from satellites, reconnaissance aircraft, electronic surveillance systems, and a wide range of classified intelligence sources. Even while deep into a mission, a B-2 can receive new targets, update battlefield conditions, and change its flight plan in seconds, without turning back and without waiting for new orders. Its communication systems are encrypted at the highest classification level. Jamming? Signal interference? Not a problem. The B-2 is built with multiple layers of redundant communications, ensuring it stays connected to command, even in the most intense electronic warfare environments. But the most unsettling capability is what it can gather while operating. The B-2 carries highly advanced sensors that allow it to detect radar emissions, track enemy activity, and map air defense networks in real time. All of that data is transmitted back to U.S. command, turning every mission into more than just an operation, but a foundation for whatever comes next. A single B-2, flying alone, can quietly set the conditions for an entire military campaign. Truth number 9. Will change the way you look at the future of warfare. The B-2 Spirit may be a child of the 1980s, but don't let that fool you. It's being continuously upgraded, quietly, discreetly, and relentlessly, to dominate the skies for decades to come. New avionics, new sensors, a re-optimized stealth profile. But the most unsettling part? Hypersonic weapons. In the coming years, the B-2 will be capable of launching missiles traveling at 5 times the speed of sound, striking targets from thousands of kilometers away, before opposing radar systems can even process what's happening. Even if the B-2 is detected, it won't need to enter danger zones anymore. And then there's artificial intelligence. The B-2 is being integrated with AI systems designed to analyze the battle space, prioritize targets, select appropriate weapons, and manage missions with minimal human input. Meaning, in the future, it won't just be harder to detect, it will be smarter, faster to react, and far more effective. A steel phantom, evolving into a thinking predator. And finally, truth number 10 will make you ask a disturbing question. Is the world really ready for what comes next? The B-2 Spirit isn't just a bomber. It's a symbol of absolute air power, a standard no nation has truly matched for more than 30 years. Russia has the Su-57, China has the J-20, but neither can combine deep stealth, intercontinental reach, and strategic-level strike capability the way the B-2 can. And here's the most unsettling part. The B-2 is not the final peak. The United States is already developing the next generation, the B-21 Raider, a platform born from 4 decades of technological advantage. Smaller, colder, harder to detect, smarter, and undeniably more capable. When the B-21 officially enters service, America's dominance in the air won't just continue, it will be extended for another half-century. But that doesn't mean the B-2 is going away. No, it will keep flying, quietly, relentlessly, a silent presence hanging over any crisis where global balance is tested. Every time it appears at a forward base or during an international standoff, the message is always the same. There exists a form of power that no one on this planet can truly counter. In a world growing more unstable by the day, where geopolitical tensions can ignite with a single spark, the B-2 Spirit exists as an invisible balance, a quiet, unsettling form of deterrence that helps prevent conflicts from spiraling into full-scale war. World leaders understand this very well. They know that if they go too far, if they cross certain red lines, then somewhere, high in the night sky at 50,000 feet, a steel phantom could already be on its way. Silent, unseen, carrying the kind of power that can end everything they've built. So, what is the B-2 Spirit, really? An angel of peace? Or a demon of war? Maybe, It's both. To America's allies, it's a shield, a guarantee that they are not standing alone. But to those who oppose the United States, it's a nightmare. The symbol of a form of power that cannot be challenged directly. Love it or hate it, one fact is undeniable. The B-2 Spirit has changed the nature of modern warfare. It blends the silence of the night with overwhelming strategic capability. It combines surgical precision with technology decades ahead of its time. And it stands as proof that when a nation commits fully to military science, it can create something that reshapes the global order. Now it's your turn. What do you think about the B-2 Spirit? Let us know in the comments and join the discussion.